My name is Andy Boynton. I'm proud to be the Dean of the Carroll School of Management at Boston College.
Oh man, an Eagles booyah to you, the only Eagles I'm really supporting right now. And I gotta tell you, Dean Boynton in that management school, those guys are fabulous. How great is he?
We want to capture the best ideas that come up today, not just from you, your teams, and so forth, but from everywhere.
I've worked with leaders and organizations from around the world on issues related to teamwork.
If you're working in teams and you're searching for harmony, more than great answers that matter for the business, and harmony is the most important thing, you've got a problem.
Leadership development.
Being a leader is about being an enabler. It's enabling other people to do great things.
Organization change and strategic formulation and implementation.
The teams that we looked at, they bring together the very best. They don't bring together the best available people. They bring together the best obtainable people at any cost. They put them in cramped quarters. They have strong leadership. They have a clear mandate, and they take no prisoners. There's no compromise. They need to get the job done. And one thing about leadership, it's a contact sport. Right? You can't do it from the 34th floor. You can't do it through email. You got to be there in the presence to the extent you can be. What's an idea hunter? Kimberly gave part of the definition where idea hunters are learning machines. They are individuals and professionals who are great at finding ideas, and they're able to be more innovative and more creative than the rest of the pack. What's cool about the iPod? It's small, it's light. How about the way you find music? How do you find music on the iPod? Right? Familiar? Great idea, iPod, oh my gosh, major breakthrough. But not a new idea. Schiller realized he saw something before that he could reuse. And essentially, he took something that was 1983, big clunky PC, repurposed it, 2011 iPod. And it really was one of the key distinguishing factors. I mean, it really kind of has created a way we think about manipulating the information and data. Schiller was an idea hunter. Right? He didn't think of this, but he realized there was something there he could reuse, borrow, and apply it to change the world. So what are you passionate about? That's one step to find your gig. The other is, are you any good at it? When I was a kid, I loved NFL football. I wanted to become a pro quarterback. How many guys out there wanted to be pro athletes, right? Raise your hand. No? Guess what? We're not. Why aren't we? We didn't have the talent. I didn't have the DNA. Sorry. I had to find another gig. I'm a dean of a business school. But seriously, you can be passionate about it, but then do you have the talent? And oftentimes there, you need to have others give you an honest assessment of that. So passion, talent, and finally, is there a market? Does anybody want it? And you are all riding a wave, a freight train of something the world needs. There is a huge market for what you're passionate about, what you're good about, and there's a market that needs it, that wants it, and this is not going to stop. This is not fad, and this is not fashion. Disney was on vacation with Art Linkletter. Anybody remember Art Linkletter? Right? Some of you my age. Art Linkletter had a great afternoon show. So the Disneys and the Linkletters went on vacation to Europe. They were going to go on a whirlwind tour, and they stopped off here, Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. Has anybody been there? It's a great, isn't it a great amusement park? It's so cool. Well, Disney thought it was really cool also. Now, he had the idea at the time, back in LA, I want to create an amusement park that families can enjoy, parents and children, and not have it be one of these seedy amusement parks. So he visited Tivoli Garden. They were going to spend a couple hours there. They spent 1 week. He ruined their vacation. And he spent 1 week because what he saw were children, adults. He saw the meandering paths. He saw space. He saw gardens. He saw water. He heard music. And he said when he saw it all, this is it. And he spent time measuring and photographing and coming up with the whole flow. And he went back to LA, and from those ideas, he created Disneyland, the Magic Kingdom. He took lock, stock, and barrel, everything he saw at Tivoli Garden, and he created the paths and the flowers and everything else. And when you go to Tivoli, you say, wow, it's a miniature Magic Kingdom. And it is. And so Disney created something, but it wasn't him sitting alone, thinking about it, wondering how to do it, sitting in LA. He found the idea in another continent at the oldest amusement park in the world. But because he knew his gig and what he wanted to find, he saw it, he grabbed it, he brought it back, and he changed the world of theme parks. And that led to a famous quote from Holmes to Watson over and over, a refrain that every idea hunter has to keep in mind, which was, Watson, you see, but you don't observe. And idea hunters, we move through life and we see things. We see amusement park, we experience the strategies of other people, we see a lot at this conference, but even not at this conference, we see things all the time. And so keep in mind that in terms of being interested, it's 24/7. Don't just see, observe. Ideas are everywhere, there for free, there to be reused, if only we are looking for them. So Buffett got his ideas from Ted Williams in baseball. Another important message for idea hunters. And we know this from some great academic research. A sociologist at Chicago, University of Chicago, by the name of Ron Burt, sociologist at MIT by the name of Mark Granovetter, they came up with ideas like structural holes and strength of weak ties. It's mentioned in the book. I'm not going to bore you with the research, but the research is important. And it all boils down to this. They studied creativity, ideas, where ideas come from, and they come from talk with weird people. I mean, at the end, so for Buffett, Ted Williams, and talk to people from different disciplines, and work with people, and reach out to people, because the most novel ideas are going to come from people who are bridging structural holes in social networks, who have ties and are communicating with people they don't know, or weak ties. But learning from Ted Williams is a great example. Investing, baseball, what's the link? The link was everything. Right? He sells himself the best hour of every day, not to work for the company, not to work for clients, but he sells himself the best hour of every day to get smarter. And what Munger says is he knows people, and he's met a lot of people, and he knows people, and the most successful people aren't the smartest. They don't have the highest IQ. They're not necessarily the hardest workers. But he uses that phrase, they're learning machines. They know how to wake up every day a little bit smarter. And whether it's you as individuals or your company, if you want to get smarter and unleash the talent, build an army of idea hunters and learning machines.